Well, hey there folks, welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here and it's time for our second comparison video of today. Now the first one we went ahead and we compared the Brewdog Hazy Jane to the Aldi version, the anti-establishment hazy. They're both 5%, so go check out that video. Now we're back with beer number 2 and this is, it's a comparison video rather than a beer wars video. Basically, there's been some talk about, there's been a lot of talk recently on beer groups I'm in, so shout out to the Hobgoblins and the Brewskis, in terms of certain breweries changing what they do with their beers. So looking at certain brands that have put down the ABV when big corporate companies take over of certain brands and stuff. So bringing that in line, basically there's a talk of a certain brand that's lowered its ABV, but I haven't found the lowered ABV version yet around close to me. So I will go ahead and check that out when I can find it. Right, so also shout out to Scott from Scott and Wonders World. I know him and Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews, both channels that I subscribe to. Feel free to subscribe to them if you want. By the way, if you want to like, share, subscribe to this channel, you can do. I'm not begging for likes or subscribes. It's just an intro that I do at the beginning of every video, and I'm just not doing it on this one. But anyway, Scott and Dean were going back through beers that they've had from a few years ago and wondered if they changed. And there's been comments made by Scott from Scott and Wonders World and Dean about a certain beer, but also I've seen it in my beer groups that I'm on Facebook. And the beer we're talking about is this and this. This is the original branding t-shirt as well. Yes, Vocation's Life and Death. It's their core IPA. It's what made me sort of fall in love with them. I remember having it, I had it a few times in can. I remember having it on keg in the Assembly Underground in Leeds. I remember having it on cask, the original cask version. Then they brought out a newer cask version at a lower ABV. So this is all about beers pissing about and changing, breweries pissing about and changing recipes. Now I have not really noticed a difference. However, I did then go to Morrisons where they sell the big 440ml cans and I noticed something. So I've got 2 cans to compare and see if it's changed. Ready to see? Okay, so it's Life and Death. So this is the can. I got this as part of a gift pack, Christmas. There's your new Life and Death. See, I said the old logos on the t-shirt. Some people moaned about the change of logo. I'm used to the new Vocation branding. I'm sort of used to it now. But there it is. It's 6.5%. But if you whiz on the back, it tells you there, as it's always said, that it contains Citra. Want the camera focusing on it? Citra and Mosaic, right? So they're the hops. They've always been the hops on Love and Hate. Life and Death. Life and Death. Love and Hate's a totally different thing. Right. So that's, I'm guessing, the older version, but that's one that I got in a Christmas beer pack. Now this is one I picked up more recently from Morrisons. Again, Life and Death, same branding, 6.5%. But if you have a look on the back, there, it says Citra Mosaic and Simcoe. Told you every beer had Simcoe in it. So they've added an extra hop. So they've changed it. In essence, they've changed it. A lot of people say Life and Death isn't what it used to be. I always like Life and Death, I'll be honest with you. It's 6.5%, so you can't drink much of it because it'll kick you on your ass. But I've always found it was a fantastic beer. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get them out and compare them. Go compare! Probably get sued for that. I've got 2 of these V glasses. So they're both going to go in a V glass. I was considering using my bigger glass, so I get the whole of this out just to compare it in terms of yada yada yada. But I'm not going to get both full cans out in the first instance. I'm just going to do as I usually do, pour a little bit so we can whiff and sniff and all that stuff. So this is the small can. So this, I believe, is the original recipe. I feel like I'm at KFC, original recipe chicken. So there you go. It's quite clear actually. I've noticed that. It used to be hazier than that. That's quite clear, and there's a little bit of haze, but it's only minute. Yeah, interesting. These aren't reviews as such, these are comparison videos. So I'm not necessarily going to review, well, I'm going to go through what the beer tastes like and stuff, but I'm not necessarily going to review it and give it a mark as such. Right, okay. So, that's the new one. It also looks quite clear. I remember it being hazier than this. I've had Life and Death quite recently actually. I had it on my birthday, so for New Year. Tell you what, just so it's dead on even, let me top that up a little bit more. There we go. Right, so, right hand is the small can. So that's supposedly the original recipe with just Citra Mosaic. Left hand is the new can, the bigger can, with the addition of Simcoe. They both lace very nicely. Trying to see what the camera's seeing. There is more bit of haze there, but not much. It is quite clear, see-through. They're a goldeny, light golden colour. Small can, big can. Should have put them in separate glasses, shouldn't I, so I know where I stand. Right, so this is the original. Let's give it a whiff, see what we can sniff. Smells lovely. You're getting the citrus, you're getting citrus, lemon lime, getting a little something underneath, which I think is the Mosaic. A little bit of pininess, grapefruit, pink grapefruit, lemon lime, quite tropical, mango. Smells lovely. Smells absolutely lovely. Right, let's get the new one. The newer one. So this has got the addition of Simcoe in it. Is it going to be earthy? Oh, it smells different. Oh. Oh, it does. It smells. Now, it smells piney. Now, what I will say is some people, because I've had the mistake of this, get the pininess mistaken for like a metallic smell, but it's not. It's like a piney, pine cone, pine needle smell. There is a bit of earthiness there, but the sweetness has disappeared. That smells pinier. Yeah, that smells a bit more mango-y, pineapple-y. Alongside that, they both do smell quite a bit earthy. There is a... Right, that's old, that's new. I've got to remember which one's which. Definitely a difference in smell. I'm quite shocked. What do you know? People on YouTube, people on beer groups are correct. Vocation have obviously changed the recipe. You'd think with adding a hop it'd make it better. I mean, I've not tasted them yet. I've not found out. I'm just quite shocked that they have actually changed the recipe. Let's give them a try. So, the OG, or the original, well, basically just a Citra Mosaic one. Bottoms up down the hatch. Oh. It's a beautiful beer. It's a beautiful, beautiful beer. Now it's hazed up. I've got the, there we go, I've got the rest in. There's obviously some sediment in the bottom of the can. Now it's hazed up. There we go. Now we're talking. Right, let's re-whiff. Oh, much better. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, it's a great beer. It really is. Fantastic. Sweetness down the middle of the tongue, down the sides. You're getting that sprig of hop goodness. It's a little bit spiky. It's very tropical. It's quite calm on the back end though. I remember it being quite spiky on the back end, but it's a lovely, lovely beer. Right, let's try this one then. Bottoms up down the hatch. This is the new version. That's a lot more pinier. Oh, it's a lot more pinier. Oh, and it lingers, it stays there. Interesting. Pour the rest in. Woo! Oh, that's spilling all over me. Carpet. Now then. That. And that's clear. There's a serious lack of haze in that. That is a clear clarity beer. That is hazy. Look, you can't see my face through that, but you can through that. Or maybe you can't on this camera. I can see the other side. I can't on that and I can on that. So, have they started putting findings through it? It's a different tasting beer. Wow. They have changed the recipe, they really have. Now here's the interesting part. Do I prefer the new one over the old one? I really like the pininess, really like, I love a bitterness back end. It's sharper, it's spikier with the Simcoe added. This, however, excuse me, has a much nicer body. It's softer carbonation, it's a much nicer body, it's nice all well-rounded flavour. Sweetness down the middle of the tongue from the malt, down the sides of the tongue, as I say, you're getting the grapefruit, you're getting the pineapple, you're getting bits of lemon and lime. But it peters out to not very much. This is clear, it's a clear see-through beer. Body-wise, it is thinner. Still a nice beer to have have down your chops. But it's a lot pinier. Adding that Simcoe in, as they done more kettle hopping than dry hopping. It's a lot pinier. It's a lot spikier on the back end. Ooh, it's a hard one to call. I was expecting them to both kind of more or less be the same, but they're really not. And what I'm going to say to Vocation Brewery is I am disappointed. I'm disappointed at the change. Okay. Not that I'm disappointed from the change, because times do change, people have to adapt. So I sound like I'm really stuck in my ways when I say that. What I mean is, you're onto such a good thing, such a great core beer, and just from the look of it, it looks thinner. From the taste of it, it is thinner in body. Looks like there's less oats that you've put in, there's less content. But then again, on the flip side, Vocation Brewery, I love what you do. You're one of my favourite breweries, you know that, probably my favourite overall brewery. Just because your beers are so accessible, and I do get the majority of stuff from the supermarket because that's easier for me to pick it up from there. I like both. This is the weird thing, I like both, it's a head scratcher. Comparison over, they're not the same beer. Now, do I rate one over the other? I buy both again, quite happily. I'm loving the way that the newer version is sitting on the back of my palate though. It's really piney, like mega piney, and I really, really, really like that. So it's an interesting one for me. Again, just so that we're clear, that's clear, and that's not. they're not the same beer. I'm sure Scott and Dean, when they do the new comparison, maybe they'll have that one. Who knows? If you haven't, I mean, they've just time of recording this, end of March. I picked that up from Morrisons. Let me have a look at the best befores on it. Actually, best before on that is January 2024. Best before on this is July 23. So that could be significantly older, because they usually put about a year, don't they? Best before on the cans. But I have seen in the past few days, because I was considering putting an order into Vocation for the life and the love and hate reiterations that they put out. And they've also done the same now with hop, skip and juice. So I'm that close to putting in an order direct with Vocation. Just because I want to do the love and hate reiterations. I know a couple of other beer reviewers have done it. Right, what am I on? I am 16 minutes in. Right, I think I'm going to end it there, because I'm quite shocked. I wasn't expecting such a difference. Both beers, I like both beers though. It's a weird one. I like both beers, I really do. I love what they did with the original Love and Hate. And I love Life and Death. Why do you keep calling it Love and Hate? Why do you have to name all your beers something and something? Christ's sake. I love what they did with the original Life and Death. I liked the sweetness of it. I like the tropicalness of it. The newer one is more piney, but I love piney beer. But the new one, the new one with the Simcoe in it, by no means is it a poor beer. It's lacking in the body. The mouthfeel's still nice. Still a very nice mouthfeel. It's still same ABV, but it looks like they've got rid of maybe some of the oats, and it's lacking. It's a clear beer, which Life and Death never was. So again, all I'll say to Vocation, I mean, I'm only 100 and odd subscribers. It's not like I'm a massive channel, but just I'll tag Vocation in this because I follow them. But all I'll say Vocation is, from a consumer point of view, we're just worried you're going to go down a Brewdog route of, let's now start whacking fruit juices in. I know one of the reiterations of the hop, skip and juice does contain some adjuncty fruit juices, but just bear in mind that you're big fans, and I'm a big Vocation fan. I referred earlier in the video to Scott from Scott and Mother's World. He's a massive Brewdog fan, and now he does do Brewdog beers, but they're very much like for him personally. I really don't want to say that same about Vocation. I believe in you, but that's I just don't want to have that feeling. Again, just on the flip side, just before I finish. As a brewery, you've got to make cuts in this cost of living that we are. Bearing in mind that this has gone up to £3.50 a can now in Morrisons. It was £2.50 a can, so it's gone up a quid. It's still 6.5%. It's still, probably decent price for that level of ABV beer. But people are feeling it. People are feeling the pinch. People are feeling it. And then if you cut in the quality, it's a hard one to call, put it that way. It's a hard one to call because I'm not a brewer, I don't work in the industry, so I should imagine that for Vocation Brewery, if you are watching, your costs have skyrocketed as well. Your gas, lecky, water bills, CO2 has gone through the roof. That's before you put the price of the ingredients of the malt, the hops, the yeast. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'm just quite shocked at how different they are. On the positive note, because I'm going to make this a positive thing, I'm not slating anyone, I'm not slating Vocation. They've got to do what they've got to do, right? I like both beers. I do. I like the pininess. I like the bitterness. But I like the oaty body, juicy sort of creaminess of the original. So I drink both again. They're both going to get 2 thumbs up and a foot. So they're both going to be scored equally. So there's no winners or losers here. It's just I'm really shocked at how different they are. It's really surprised me. Well, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave it there. If you want to check out vocationbrewery.com, they have just dropped some brand new, fresh Life and Death. Have they continued with the Simcoe route, or have they gone back down the Citra Mosaic? I don't know. Is this just a cheaper version for the supermarkets? Again, I don't know. But the recipe's changed. It's different beer. Wow. Mind blown. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you want it, if it's your cup of tea. We'll see you again for some more beer reviews right here on the Hop House. Ciao for now, people. Ta-ra.